Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram 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 Hare
Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiv Sari Gaur Bhakta Vrinda He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopi Kanta Radha Kanta Namastude Tapte Kanchan Gorangi Radhe Vrindaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye बोलो श्री राधे गोलोकानंद भगवान की
जय।
हरे कृष्णा एवरीवन।
हरे कृष्णा।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna everyone. Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna, Shivam and Soham.
Hare Krishna.
Hey Krishna, you're back from India?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a nice trip?
Yeah, it was fun.
Nice, nice, very nice. Cool. So Shivam just visited Jaipur and Bombay. Okay. It's nice. All right. So we will get started with Srimad Bhagavatam. हम लोग कैंटो 3 पढ़ रहे हैं, अध्याय 15 and श्लोक 43. Yeah. And श्लोक 43 is about Sanat Kumars have reached to Vaikuntha Lok. As we know, they crossed 7 layers, 6th layers, and 7th layer, they encounter Dwarpals, Jay and Vijay. Yeah, if you remember. And then Jay and Vijay stops Sanat Kumars, yeah, right there. And that Sanat Kumars don't like that because they think in Vaikuntha no one should be afraid of anything. And why are these Dwarpals scared of different things? And why they have stopped us, the Sanat Kumars? There are 4 Kumars, right? Sanat, Sanatan, Sanandan, and Sanak Rishi, right? So 4 Kumars. And while this is going on, Lord Vishnu realizes that Sanat Kumars are at the gate and, you know, they are about to give shrap, yeah, to Jay and Vijay, Dwarpals, yeah. And so Lord Vishnu is now coming over, is walking towards Sanat Kumars. And when Lord Vishnu is walking, what it says is, Tulsi Makaranda Vayu hai. So Tulsi, as we know, Lord Vishnu के चरणों पे हम लोग तुलसी चढ़ाते हैं, also माला पहनाते हैं, right? Tulsi Mata is supposed to be the most pure and liked by Lord Shri Vishnu, Lord Shri Krishna, yeah? So what's happening is it says that when the breeze carrying the aroma of Tulsi leaves from the toes of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead entered the nostrils of those sages. Sages are Sanat Kumars, yeah? They experienced a change both in body and in mind. Even though they were attached to the impersonal Brahma understanding. So their self-realization, they were so much attached to the Brahma root. But as soon as they got the aroma of Tulsi leaves, they felt a change in both body and mind. And they started on the devotional aspect, right? Started becoming like devotees. It says that carried by the air and mixed with the aroma of Tulsi, their minds changed. Instead of becoming one with the Supreme Lord, they thought it wise to be devotees. Yeah? Becoming a servitor of the lotus feet of the Lord is better than becoming one with the Lord. Yeah? So we'll continue reading here. So read the Shlok 44, Anilji.
जी हाँ। तेवा अमुष्य बदना स्थित पद्मकोश मुद्दीक्ष्य सुंदर तराधर कुंदहासम लब्धाशिषा पुनर्वेक्ष्य तदीय मंग्रिः द्वंद्वं नखारुण मणिश्रेणाम निदध्य. The Lord's beautiful face appeared to them like the inside of a blue lotus, and the Lord's smile appeared to be a blossoming jasmine flower. After seeing the face of the Lord, the sages were fully satisfied, and when they wanted to see him further, they looked upon the nails of his lotus feet, which resembled rubies. Thus they viewed the Lord's transcendental body again and again, and so they finally achieved meditation on the Lord's personal feature. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So this is how, and who is speaking, right? Who is saying this to whom? If you remember from the long weekend, yeah. So who?
Brahmaji is saying to
Right,
all the Rishi Munis.
correct, right? So Lord Brahmaji is telling this to all the Devatas, yeah, and all the Devatas. And when is Lord Brahmaji describing it to Devatas, right? Why did Devatas go to Lord Brahma? Right? All the Devatas, they were perturbed or something, and then they went to Lord Brahmaji.
Yeah,
What was that?
because Diti had kept those two Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakashyap in her pregnancy for more than a year.
100 years.
So, 100 years, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's good. So if you
There
remember,
was, you know,
yeah, what we are reading right now is about Lord Varaha. Yeah, and Lord Varaha, when he was taking the earth out of the water, he encountered Hiranyaksh. So he killed Hiranyaksh. So Mahatma Vidur is asking Maitreya Muni to tell more about Lord Varaha's avatar. And when, so Maitreya Muni is telling what happened, yeah? And then Maitreya Muni is telling how Diti was married to which Muni?
Kashyap
Kashyap.
Muni.
Kashyap Muni, yeah? So Kashyap Muni, Diti was married to Kashyap Muni. Diti wanted to have children. It was an inauspicious time. And then Kashyap Muni is telling her that she is having two sons, Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu, but they are two going to be like demons and going to be troublesome for the entire planet, all three loks. And that's when, but then the grandson will be Prahlad Maharaj, who will be, who will be prayed along with Lord Vishnu. And then Diti was pacified, but then she knew that Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu won't be good for anyone, so she kept them inside for 100 years. But then what happened was after 100 years, everything started becoming dark. That's when Devatas go to Lord Brahma, and then Lord Brahma is telling the whole story, like what happened. Sanat Kumars are in the Vaikuntha Lok, and Lord Vishnu is appearing in front of Sanat Kumars. Okay, so that's where we are reading right now. So let's read the next shlok. Harinajit.
Unsam gatem mrigayat miha mrigayatamiha yogamarger dhyanaspradam bahumatam nayanabhiramam Parsnam vapur darshayan mananya siddhe rotpattikay samagrinan yuttamashta bhoge. This is the form of the Lord which is meditated upon by the followers of the yoga process, and it is pleasing to the yogis in meditation. It is not imaginary but factual, as proved by great yogis. The Lord is full in 8 kinds of achievement, but for others, these achievements are not possible in full perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the important part is it's not imaginary but factual. Yeah, and it has been proved by the great yogis again and again. Yeah. So again, long purport, but you can read some of it. Soham?
By meditation, one can understand that God is seated within one's heart. Even if one does not know it, God is seated within the heart of everyone. Not only is He seated in the heart of the human being, but He is also within the hearts of the cats and dogs. Bhagavad Gita certifies this fact by the declaration of the Lord. Svara sarva bhatanam hridasi. The Svara, the supreme controller of the world, is seated in the heart of everyone. Not with the atom, no place is vacant or devoid of the presence of the Lord. That is the statement of Panisad. God is present everywhere, and His right of proprietorship applies to everything. The feature to the Lord by the which He is present every time is called Paratma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Soham. Yeah, we have heard this. Ishvara sarva bhutanam videse, right? Ishwar is everywhere. Yeah, the God is present everywhere. Continue reading this, says Shivam.
Atma means the individual soul, and the Paramatma means the individual super soul. Both Atma and Paramatma are individual persons. The difference between Atma and Paramatma is that the Atma or the soul is present only in a particular body, whereas the Paramatma is present everywhere. In this connection, the example of the sun is very nice. An individual person may be situated in one place, but the sun, even though a similar individual entity, is present on the head of every individual person. In Bhagavad Gita, this is explained. Therefore, even though the qualities of all entities, including Lord, are equal, the supersoul is different from the individual soul by quantitative power of expansion. The Lord or the supersoul can expand himself into millions of different forms, whereas the individual soul cannot do so. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so some difference is explained between Atma and Paramatma. Yeah, like the individual soul. Also, it's important to know that the qualities of all entities, yeah, including the Lord, are equal. Yeah, but what is the difference, right? The difference is, like, I think we were also listening last week, like individual soul like us are like a drop in the ocean, right? But the God is the whole ocean, right? So that's the difference. We are a drop and He is the whole ocean, even though the drop may have similar qualities, but in a very small scale. Yeah. And it's a pretty long purport, but let's read this, Tarun.
Those who have taken to this most sublime Bhakti Yoga system, who practice devotional service in transcendental love of Krishna, can testify to its happy and easy execution. The four sages, Sanaka, Santana, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanatkumara, also become attracted by the features of the Lord and the transcendental aroma of the dust of His lotus feet, as already described in verse 43. Yoga necessitates controlling the senses, and Bhakti Yoga, or Krishna consciousness, is a process of purifying the senses. When the senses are purified, they are automatically controlled. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So very, very subtle difference may be described, right? Just the yoga means controlling the senses, right? And it's not easy to control the senses. Whereas the Bhakti Yoga, what happens in Bhakti Yoga devotional service, Krishna consciousness, is the process of purifying the senses. Yeah, so one is controlling and one is purifying. And what it says is once the senses are purified, they are automatically controlled. And that's a big difference between the Bhakti Yoga and other yogs. Yeah. Sachin?
One cannot stop the activities of the senses by artificial means. But if one purifies the senses by engaging in the service of the Lord, the senses not only can be controlled from rubbish engagement, but can be engaged in the Lord's transcendental service, as aspired to by the four sages, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara. Krishna consciousness is not, therefore, a manufactured concoction of the speculative mind. It is a process enjoined in Bhagavad Gita 9.34 as mana bhava mada bhakto mada yaji mama namaskuru. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Krishna consciousness is not a speculative mind or something. It is the process of Bhakti Yoga, which is very well explained in Bhagavad Gita. Yeah. Ajay?
Kumara Uchu Gontrito Hridi Gatopit Duratmana Tam So Dev no Nayan Moolam Nant Radha Yehon Karan Vivrenam Guham Gatota Pitranu Varnitaraha Bhadvav Duvain. Translation. The Kumara said, Our dear Lord, you are not manifested to rascals, even though you are seated within the heart of everyone. But as far as we are concerned, we see you face to face, although you are unlimited. The statements have heard about you from our father Brahma through the years have not been actually realized by your kind. Can you scroll down, please?
Appearance. Huh?
Appearance. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So on the Sanat Kumars, right? Now seeing Lord Vishnu face to face, and when they are seen face to face, the Kumars are saying, "Oh dear Lord, okay, you don't manifest to rascals, right? Even though you are in the heart of everyone." Yeah, it says Duratma Tvam. You don't manifest to them, but we are seeing you face to face, and even though you are unlimited, it says Anant. Yeah, still we are able to see you face to face. And Karna Vivarena Guham Gato Naha, like Lord Brahma himself described about Lord Vishnu to Sanat Kumars. Yeah, but Sanat Kumars were in the impersonal realization. But now they are seeing Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu face to face, and they are telling him that now with your kind appearance, we are now realizing what we learned from our father Brahma. Yeah, we know all the Sanat Kumar's father is Lord Brahma. Yeah. Again, I think it's a good purpose. Let's read this one.
Here the four sages, Sanat Kumara, Santana, Sanandana, and Sanaka are described as actually sincere devotees, although they had heard from their father Brahma about the personal feature about the Lord. Only the impersonal feature, Brahman, was revealed to them. But because they were sincerely searching by the Lord, they finally saw his personal feature directly, which corresponded with the description given by their father. They thus became fully satisfied. Here now they expressed their gratitude because although they were foolish and personless and in the beginning, by the grace of the Lord, they could not have the good fortune to see his personal feature. Hare Krishna.
Shivam?
Another significant aspect of this verse is that the sages describe their experience of hearing from their father Brahma, who was born of the Lord directly. In other words, the disciplic succession from the Lord to Brahma, and from Brahma to Narada, and from Narada to Vyasa, and so on is accepted here. Because the Kumars were the sons of Brahma, They had the opportunity to learn Vedic knowledge from the cyclic succession of Brahma, and therefore, in spite their impersonalist beginnings, they became in the end the direct seers of the personal feature of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
So the knowledge of the Lord has been coming directly from the Lord to Brahmaji, yeah, from Lord Brahma to Narad, from Narad Muni to Vyasji, right, and from Vyasji to whom? From Vyasdev. Vyasdev explained this to whom? Srimad Bhagavatam.
To the Rishi. Parikshit Maharaj. No,
Yeah.
who was the Rishi?
Right. Who is reciting this to Parikshit Maharaj?
Yes. I'm forgetting
Well, who
the name of that Rishi.
right? Sukhdev Goswamiji, yeah.
There was not, yes.
Sukhdev Goswamiji is the one who is reciting it to Parikshit Maharaj. Yeah, remember. And Vyas and Sukhdev Goswamiji was son of Vyasdevji, yeah. So it has been coming in disciplic succession is what is being mentioned here. Tarun?
Tam tvam vidama bhagwanam param atma tattvam satvena samprati ratim rakayantam esam. Yatte nu tapa viditer dradha bhakti yoga rudra grantaho rudhi vidurmana yogo viragaha. Translation. You know that you are the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, who manifests his transcendental form in the uncontaminated mode of pure goodness. This transcendental eternal form of your personality can be understood only by your mercy through unflinching devotional service by great sages whose hearts have been purified in the devotional way. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. It says, so the Sanat Kumars are telling Lord Vishnu, right? We know like Tvam Vidam Bhagwan Paramatma Tattvam. Yeah, you are the supreme absolute truth. This is what they heard from Lord Brahmaji, and now they are saying face to face. Yeah, and they are saying, you are Bhagwan Paramatma Tattvam. And Satven Samprati Ratim Rachayantam Esham. Yeah, Yate Anutapa Vidit Drid Bhakti Yoge. With the Drid Bhakti Yoga, the devotional service, through unflinching devotional service. Yeah, only through unflinching devotional service, it's saying your eternal form can be understood, and that is only by your mercy. Okay, as we have read again and again, that eternal form of Lord Vishnu, Lord Sri Krishna is understood by Lord's mercy himself. And how do we get that mercy? Is through the unflinching devotional service. That is the process, that is the methodology given to understand Lord Shri Krishna and to go back to Godhead actually, right? And this has been proven again and again by the great sages whose hearts have been purified in the devotional way. So this is like kind of a pretty important point. Sachin, if you want to read.
Yes. The absolute truth can be understood in three features: impersonal Brahma, localized Paramatma, and Bhagwan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here it is admitted that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the last word in understanding the absolute truth. Even though the four Kumaras were instructed by their great learned father, Brahma, they could not actually understand the absolute truth. They could only understand the supreme absolute truth when they personally saw the personality of Godhead with their own eyes. In other words, if one sees or understands the personality of Godhead, the other two features of the absolute truth, namely impersonal Brahma and localized Paramatma, are also automatically understood. Hare Krishna.
Krishna, yeah, and it also says, therefore the Kumars confirm you are the ultimate absolute truth. Yeah, so it says three things, right? Impersonal Brahma, that is the soul, you realize the soul. And then lokila is Paramatma, right? The soul is related to the super soul. That is the Garbhodakshay Vishnu and then the Kshirodakshay Vishnu, if you remember, right? That's the Paramatma. So you have Atma, then you have Paramatma, and then Paramatma is ultimately coming from Bhagwan. And Bhagwan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That's Lord Sri Krishna. Yeah. So that is how the absolute truth is to be understood. And right, and as we can see, the Kumars then confirm that you are the ultimate absolute truth. So I think we are going to pause here since we only have 2.5 minutes. And let's, unless anyone has any comments, is this timing good for everyone?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So this should work out. And so we'll hear we do the chanting in the beginning, right? Which is also in the voice of none other than Swami Prabhupada, right? And then now we'll just hear the kirtan in his voice for a few minutes, and then we'll see you tomorrow. Yeah? Hare Krishna.
Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavanshan Sri Rupam Sakrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tvam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanitanscha Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur